Warm welcome, guys, to the Quintessential Experience, the Quest Podcast. I'm your host, Sipho Mlambisi Ugaba Ucihosho Thithibo Nozinga. Umdose Mlanjini. I'm with Crusaide de Musiq. I'm right here in his studio, Vision X Studios. What a beautiful setup, my brother.
How's it?
Welcome, bro. Yeah. This interview has been long overdue, man. We're supposed to have done it last year, but it's God's timing. Everything happens for a reason, and God's timing, it's perfect timing.
Sure.
Are you good?
I'm 100, man.
Yeah. I'm glad to have you here, man. As a musician, a pure producer. What more do you do?
Mostly, I basically do music production. I'm also a teacher. I teach people how to DJ. I teach people how to do music production, like making a beat from scratch, you know.
Jeez. So, we were speaking off camera that I was asking you, man, where do you get this knowledge? Which school did you attend to? And you mentioned YouTube. Please tell us your brief background, and especially about the music, a little bit, just touch it, and then we'll go to your background.
Okay, so the music, it started back in high school. Actually, it started back in primary school, you know. So from primary school, what I was doing is, you know, I was a vocalist in the primary school, you know. So I was a person who likes to sing, you know. So I joined this choir, but I didn't join so long, you know. So that choir, like, it was like 3 months thing, because of the person who was teaching us. He was going around different schools just to get a vocalist or a choir. He wanted to create a choir for the schools, you know. So after those couple of years, I think it was 2004 towards 2005, which is I was doing grade 4 towards grade 5, you know. So there was this one of my friend called William. He still stay here in Mamelodi. It's the same street, not the same street, the same area, but different area, you know. So he was like to me, yo, Tibo, I think like let's try something, since that guy was choir, he's not serious about this. There's a little bit of people who teach the young kids how to play the music theory, you know. So I was like, okay, let's do it. Let's do it and see where it is. Then we met, I forgot the name of that hot man, but shout out to him, you know. So he introduced us to his school, and then he told us, okay, we teach people how to play instruments, but before you play instruments, we must start you with flute.
Well, I remember the flute.
You know the flute. So
attend culture back in the days in high school. I attended school called Jekikana. So our arts culture teacher, I think it's Mr. Mokot, who used to teach us how to play. So in our school, we didn't have, in our basic school in Botlhabatsati primary school, we didn't have someone who would teach something like that, but someone outside came in and then brought the idea to the teacher, to the principal. It's like, yo guys, I want to teach your young kids how to play music, because one day you wouldn't know someone else will. So me and William and other group, other friends, the primary, the classes, in a different grade. So then we attended that is, I can call it an institute in other way, you know. But what we did is we learned how to play flute. We learned for like in a year, you know, for the whole year, from I think like between 2004 2005, and then we played, and then after that they introduced us to Vugan, next to
Mamelodi High. So we went there, and then they were like, okay, so now we're moving you from the flute, because now you know how to play the music theory. You can read the notes. Remember in the notes, structure is okay, you guys, you can play this note. You guys, you can play this note. You know. And then that's when I started playing cello. So if you know cello can one of violin and viola. You know, violin goes like a last ball, and viola is second last, and in cello maybe abutate, then there's a bass or moholo. You know, so I played the umonyane, baby tachelo. You just sit down and then you play notes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that one I played for a year, and on that year, I think it was 2005, and in 2006 I was doing grade 7. Before grade 7, on 2006 I was doing grade 6. Yeah, I was doing grade 6. Then what happened? The next year I was supposed to continue, you know, and a couple of months later I lost my great granny over meeting Lucy, not Lucy. I'm theatrically yeah, Dora Matoane. So after that, my mom, she was like, you know what, rather than push this thing in music, how about we may just for this year, we next year high school, because of the music, you know, we already know since we are you know. So the only way wait for this year later so that we then continue with the journey, you know. And then I was like, okay, since we're my mom's pro, because of, remember my great granny, she was the one paying the fees. Everything. Yeah, the fees, the transport from here to the school, you know. And
how did you feel?
I didn't feel alright, man. Like,
do you have something of sentimental value or something on high?
I don't have it for now. I used to have like the high. There were some in my studio. Like every time I get it going, like I used to remember her, and then I used to remember her telling me like, yo, okay, in our family, like we are gifted. Yeah.
Is it a family of music?
No, it wasn't a family of music.
You are diverse.
We are my family. I think like we are two in both sides, my father's side and my mother's side. I think it's me and my sister who are diverse with the music, you know. But in my mother's side, I don't know. So maybe they are they give somewhere, you know.
Yeah.
But not as much as my great granny told me, like I'm the only child, the last child. I choose it inside the music because of I heard it more good profit more. There's someone back, yes, like Narata music, you know, from my high Motola Narata music. He was always music. He was always singing. So my granny, she used to tell me about Keke. He was like an uncle to him, you know. I don't know because of it. She never told me his name.
Yeah, because the reason you touch is it's so important. That's the message I've been preaching lately. Like a preacher, the issue of identity. Even in the Bible, the book of Matthew 1, it teaches us about the genealogy of Jesus. So, Marcus Garvey, it teaches us also about a people who don't know their origin, their past, and their history, are like a tree without roots. So, it's very fundamental and key. That's the message I've been preaching. How people should know where they come from, so that they can understand themselves better. As you've alluded, Hori, your one of your family members used to love music, so you are carrying those people in your genes, and those people spiritually, they see you, and you only have to now, or once you tap into Uwelamarao, then you activate that gift, and it grows and grows, and so I think you need to make an effort, even though it's gonna be hard. But I think you need to make an effort. Ask who is that person exactly, Narata, his strength, his weaknesses, his opportunities and threats.
I think even my granny, like before she passed on, you know, before that year 2006, like she used to tell me about family, about how like most of my family they gifted with education. You know, they are more.
Your father's side or your mother?
My mother's side.
Oh.
You know, so she used to tell me like most of Batoloha, Manabaha, they are gifted when it comes to education. Nearly like the high standard. You know, but since who came me with different vision and music, it seems I'm still following the same vision but in a different angle. you know. So from there I was like, okay, now I understand, you know, this is where I should go, you know. Then after my high school, that's when now I started to understanding the music. So remember, after my granny passed on, my mom, she was no longer interested, and I can't blame her, you know, because another person, she wanted me to focus on going to school,
Yeah.
one way, you know.
When on the other hand, you wanted music.
I wanted music, man. Like,
you didn't want anything to
I did. I had a dream about me being a doctor, you know, but I had a big dream, yeah, like I like the other one was long time ago, and I still remember that dream. Sometimes out of the dreams, you know,
yeah.
like having a big studio, recording the choir, you know, having a record label, pushing,
yeah.
you know. I used to have those dreams, you know. And then, like, before I get into music production, way before music production, you know, like heavy lady studios or record about the choir.
Clap and tap. Did you do clap and tap?
I've tried. I think like I've tried. But the issues that it's is that I think like maybe more yeah.
When I know that basically.
Mostly instruments. Instruments.
But the first time I heard your voice, that track, yeah, temper, THL, Hadia.
Yeah.
Your voice, my brother.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Thank you.
I was like, this. I was like,
I think my voice fit between tenor towards soprano.
Yeah, that track, like it's a hit, Hadia, and I urge my viewers to check out that track. That track, it's so dope because you went out there with Timba. Shout out to THL.
Shout out to THL.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah, you went hard. I'm like, these guys are from Mamelodi, and we need to, as guys, Mamelodi, to work together, guys. Work together and help each other grow. We can't always work in isolation, but together. I remember the famous words, my principal, Malambo, when I used to attend Kuchikikana. He said that if you want to arrive fast to a destination, you must work alone. But if you want to go far, you must work as a team. So I appreciate the teamwork. Yeah, teamwork for me is.
But can I touch something on that? One thing now I've realized, since I've been in decade into the music production, you know, one thing I've realized with so many people I've worked with, you know, so many artists came into my studio. The time my studio was in the house, you know. The truth is that people, we don't have the same vision. I'm gonna lie to you. We don't have the same vision. We don't have the same goal. We can be all 10 rappers, we can be all 10 vocalists, we can be all 10 producers, we can be all 10 engineers, you know. But the guarantee, most of those 10s, the vision is one. And then that's the problem when it comes to people. And then you can't blame anyone, you know, because of if someone on a vision high, the way I imagine, the way I learn there, and then it becomes a problem. But at the same time, I understand there it is because of like for example, when I say when you structure your thing at the podcast or you abroad, it's your vision. Look at the team is on to follow a vision.
Your vision,
but the problem if vision I follow a vision, then it becomes a problem, you know.
I get you. I know that very well.
Yeah, so that thing, that's why mostly, I can say mostly Mamelodi artists, I don't want to lie, Mamelodi artists, Mamelodi producers, Mamelodi engineers, I don't think about Otlakan. So if Otlakan, it will be when, but yeah, but the other mind the ego, this is my get a male mind go focus about and go push a little man's record. And once it's a then that's where I can bring my heart then ka thomo pusha dilo ka mkhodile. But if we pogo therapy ka mind le pele,
yeah,
then that's where the problem starts. That's why like mostly the artists they can say prominent.
They never blow up. They will never blow up.
They will never.
What's their problem? If you can dive in deep on that subject, see, retouch hanya. What do you think problem yabona king and why Orvia?
The vision. I'm still repeating again. The vision. The team must have the same vision. We shouldn't lose the vision.
A person we rang like maybe have it, maybe make 2 hits and then.
Let me take it. Let me give it a small example.
Example, yeah.
Yes. So let's say an artist comes to my studio. Let's say you're an artist. You come into my studio and you be like, "Yo, Crusaide, I have this vision. Right? Can you go release an album? How come not like a vision? And then on tells us a vision now come quietly. My back 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Now, as a person, as a producer, I must take that vision, compile it, cancel it, even to what. Now, what like a vision, maybe the instrument, the studio, the recording, and everything. And I get the idea of it. Then from there, what we do is, there is no recurrence. Yes, it is into a fillet, and then we break it down into 2 pieces. Okay, now the first song, let's say we did 5 songs, we start with 5 songs. Okay, Joe, what we are 17, okay, you can understand that we are 17 because okay, more to what but understand the catalog. So let's take that 17 and divide into 2. Then the rest divide into 2. Let's say 2 the first one, we have. Let's say let's make 5 songs. Then let's take that 5 songs, then we split it into pieces. Then we piece about 1. Let's create a content. And so, give vision. And so, but the other problem with Tomakai, here Tomako tells us that vision it would kill and Kyle. When we no, we have 17 tracks.
Jeez. And yeah, that thing it's not sustainable, especially in music production because of Samatomo. I realize or the budget.
Yeah.
We're not funded, and you still in the beginning phase. The beginning phase is hard, is the struggles, and the people should realize or it's not, you're not gonna just blow up simple. It's tough to crack an industry. And even if Oka cracker, there are deals now. You can see Gabo Makazi, they're getting those deals. So I urge people or they must ask themselves the why, or why am I doing this music? Am I doing this for fame? Or is it something that's coming from inside me that's gonna heal people? Because music is a spiritual thing. People heal through music. You are not a person who, like yourself, who's producing. You're producing different tracks, and they have a meaning, a particular meaning in which, when it gets to the list, ears, somebody's ears, what would go, no man, this track can even if when I'm down, young, it has the ability to uplift.
And then the other thing is that Babu Clerica CB the number 1. You know, let myself also I'm not number 1. Point number 1, number 2, I get number 2 to anyone else. You know, I'm not in the last, I'm in the middle. It doesn't mean Wamatomo. Oh, this is you are in the middle. Understand? Because Mozoria all treat that as the middle. Like I kept Loria, Nagarata last ball. By end of the day, understand? So the music, music 90% of the world, but accelerate coffee.
I think what I've realized, especially in Mamelodi, is not the issue of music fella, it's everything. Because of I grew up playing soccer. I know very fantastic, good players who have a potential to go out there and make a name for themselves. But sadly, their careers they've fallen off. Why? First thing, there's no support. And let's support the about to the ones people, you know, Babian. Let's say this episode blows up. That's when people wanna come. No, Crusaide was there, they wanna be friends, but in the beginning they shatter your dreams. He's taking chances, high school, high market, not knowing what this thing it's inside you. Every night as you have mentioned, the dreams, you make music is something that you genuinely love. So Bona, I urge people Mamelodi, they must support their own. Support their own, and then even this artist, they must follow the visions. In order to become a good leader, you must be a good follower. So that you learn the process, you learn all those things. Because now people a person will level and then a level physical appearance and is deceiving. Not knowing or a person actually you are the one who can elevate, and you are interested to elevate the career high because of you have the necessary tools. So I think you should keep going, my brother. I see that you've got a great future ahead of you, and I want you not to give up. Don't let the artists what they are doing do discourage. Don't let that, but push. Understand why did I start this in the beginning? Because of there are challenges that comes along with music, because of you'll do a project limo too, and then as soon as I blow out, and then it doesn't want anything to do with you, but when just continue doing your thing and push also your music.
Thanks.
You're gonna go far, brother. I'm just here to inspire you and encourage you spiritually. Now we have to, you not have to. I keep telling people, yeah, you like going to gym, no. I'm not gymming for physical fella, but mental health. So that when I go to church also, I'm building my spiritual health. So it's important, even also for yourself, to build yourself mentally, to build yourself spiritually, so that you understand where people are gonna disappoint you.
Obviously.
And I'm sure you've been through a lot of disappointment. Can you share some stories, even though you might not mention people's names? It's okay.
Yo, man.
A thing that hurt you, like wow, music. What happened?
I was working with. He's still my homie, you know. I was working with. His name is Prince Mutigi, aka Rico Motaz, if you know him. Mama
I'll check him out.
Mama Hayakwana in Saloon next to Don Carlos.
Oh, I see the salon.
Yeah. He's one of my homies. So the struggle was the time with Satom. Because of the struggle, actually, one of my friends called Fortunate Chabalala. His stage name gives us what they call. That's when we started the music journey. You know, so music no recorded
those days.
We did this one song. I still remember that song. Okay. Change you round and round. People coming back, going slow, going back. He knows that song, like living the beat. So we like the struggles. I wanna say 2 million more from there. Then I met Rico. So Rico at that time Nasana Iwani, Kalina exotic. So I used to sometimes. This is a true story. I don't wanna lie to you.
Yeah.
And then I got fake.
Yeah.
There was this time, like there was this year. What's happening is that Niko Konozama like for my 5 days. Konozama my 5 days pushing the production. Kinaliena, Kilagoena, and so. Like I is one of my home by Mitsasihe, Namona Lady. Recorded the Pina, recorder, pusher, you know. But the problem is we never released those songs. We never released those songs. Even now.
How many? Please.
Yo.
Catalog.
It's a serious catalog, that one. And then plus that time it was when Nasa Bargalebo group. What's called? Nona level J Melody, that time that Peter Tweezy, you know, Nanali some of the groups, you know. So he moved out of that group at the Tomela Motion, and then I joined in on him, you know. So that time I didn't have a studio. The studio that you see, his studio started recently, a couple of years back, but he was the first person over the studio, you know. That time I started the speaker the computer, doing the production, you know. So from there we pushed. It's like there were some days in the 2 days, 3 days I get them one. And that time my uncle, that was the time my granny, she was really sick, you know. So now I can spane, you know. So I'm to school, go register to fix my matric. I was like, let me push this thing. Maybe it will do something.
To blow up.
It will blow up, you know. So my 2 days, 3 days ago, record, push the project, record it, check the video. So I was like, no man, let's try this. Let's try to find a ways. Let's watch videos. That's where we went to the University of YouTube. That's where we were like, no, let's check the videos on YouTube. That's also came in one of my friends called Bata. His name is Johannes. I forgot his name. The other stage name of Peter Bat Inc. He's working with KG, you know. So that's where he introduced the FO Studio. No, guys, this is the program you're already big. Even though you've got 20 Americans, but let's try something and then explore into it, you know. So that's where like we went into the making beats in a vehicle. So so that's where now my knowledge of music production came in. You know, my mind now started to be abroad towards the computer, the system, the speakers, and understanding what's going on. You know? So years to years in the build, and then he moved from A1 E4, then Los Panela. It's the same thing. You can 2 days, 3 days. You can spend up maybe December. Sacrifices, man. Huh? Like until to the point Bonava deal with one of these record company maybe it's gangster beat, you know. So now I have to do what, come back home, you know. So came back home. Not to Salaban Saha, but it gets a lot of maybe like the guy he chose or he wants who, you know.
And so, Lena, what was the agreement between you guys initially? It
so,
was just a gentleman agreement, or we're gonna just work together?
We were just working together.
Or nothing in paper?
Nah, nothing in paper. Oh, that's when before Gangster. That's when this one of the homies called Cambridge Still. His real name, but the Cambridge Still. That's when we did the song called 12 AM, you know. So he came into the studio. Even Rico, he was like, yo, there's this young boy, young artist, he wants to record, he wants to do. So he came with the beat. Actually, me and Rico, we did the beat, you know, at 12 AM. But we did it in a way where we took some of the sounds, sample and the currents, and then we recorded the song, you know. Then that song, it became like a serious hit, you know, to the point where someone on the list, I was like, yo, no, let me see something about Bafana. So then Cambridge came into the board, and then I was finally Cambridge. We did like a couple of 2 songs, 3 songs, and then it was, I think it was Face Down, you know, the other ones Skiddy Limit, and then we recorded some of the tracks. So then Hot Money against that we came in, then we had a meeting, and then we spoke on the meeting. No, he was like, no guys, I wanna sign. And I was like, no, signing is not something irrigation, he said. Let's talk about the percentage, and then
we split,
and then so that we go to the. So from that meeting, I don't know what happened. Then what we cover now, Joe, we going to do with the weekend and stuff. I was like, okay, now it's cool. You know, I don't have any problems. Then come back home. I don't have a studio. I'm not working. So I have to run get like a plan, you know. I have a vision, my talent is in my head. My talent is in my brain. I know the system, I know how to operate the system, I know how to make beats, I know everything. But automatic, you know.